facing others' shades, strolling through an abyssal place, the memories, pains, and regrets of the old, sunken realm. Hello, and welcome to Abyssal Somewhere by nonoise. As usual, link in the description for the itch.io page where you can download this game for free. It's in name your own price. But the creator has a little blurb on there that they would, if you want to support the game, the best way to support it would be to share the game, give them a follow on Twitter, play the game, share it with your friends. But the blurb doesn't explicitly say they do not want your money, so you can give them your money unless they come out later saying, no, I explicitly do not want you to give me money. In which case they come out and say, hey, I explicitly don't want you to give me your money, and you've got this money burning a hole in your pocket that you were going to spend on Abyssal Somewhere. You could donate it to a good cause, like the National Center of Transgender Equality. I find myself donating there a lot nowadays. Transgender people have it very, very, very rough. I cannot overstate how rough they've got it. So if you got some money, they could use it. They could use it very, very badly. Or you could just donate straight to a person in need, rather than going through a center. But it's whatever. You got money. You give it to someone who needs it. That's the point of money, is to give it to people who need it. Let's play this video game. So, Abyssal Somewhere, which we'll probably just refer to as Abyssal Somewhere just for convenience, seems to be part of a planned series called the Tower of Many. It's the only one that is out at the moment. I didn't realize that it was part of a planned series when I put it on the list, which makes me wonder if the narrative of this game will conclude with this game. Is it a series, and book A, book B, it'll continue to follow this character, this knight of some sort, throughout their journeys in the Abyssal Somewhere, going to the Tower of Many. I'm not sure if that's the planned idea. Raw slabs of concrete. Cool. All right, so there's just big concrete wheels doing their thing over here. Not exactly the thing you'd typically make a wheel out of, but all right. It's a weird thing that I guess if you want to make it durable, you'd make it out of concrete, but two hunks of concrete slamming into each other would come apart. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is a planned narrative, and that we're going to continue to see this knight character going about doing their thing, or if perhaps no way through, or if perhaps it's more of a thematic series, kind of like Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, Last Guardian, where there isn't a continuing narrative. You could argue there's related things and motifs and such that just that spawn off of each other, and perhaps a shared history. But maybe it's more like that. Maybe it is just legit a straight up. Is that a big monster robot thing? What is it exactly? It looked like someone in a fetal position almost. There's a face here, and I can see legs and some potential arms, but they don't seem active at the very least. Just the other side of that the grate we saw. Reading strict. Well, I'm hitting X to read these. Oh no, I was hitting C. That was an X. Okay, so we're unsure of the purpose of the location we're in. If it's a cell, some catacombs to some dead things. It does seem very jail-like in its construction, but also the place we were in wasn't sealed off in any way, so it'd be a pretty poor jail if we were able to just walk out. But I suppose if we were to assume that these are guardians of some sort, maybe at one time they would have stopped you from leaving. And that's the idea, we don't need to close off the cell because these things would have stopped you. But they're inactive, so it adds to the positing of what is the purpose of the location we're in. Oh, this statue we can interact with. Oh, there are things inside it. I didn't even realize that there were like I assume that they were like big like golems or automatons of some sort, but the description this knight gave them makes it sound like they may be more like mechas. That there's something in there, or perhaps these were the cells. Well, I doubt they're the cells that were being described. Is this a button? Well, if it is a button, I don't seem to be able to interact with it just yet, so we'll continue on. So the reason I mentioned, I mentioned Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, etc., for the purpose of that narrative thing, because it was the first thing that came to mind. Even though I'm sure there's a bajillion things where it's like, oh, it's a series where it's more of like a shared motifs and stuff, as opposed to like an ongoing narrative. But I've seen a few of the screenshots for this game on itch.io, and just seeing them gave me a real vibe of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. So I'm kind of interested. But now that I'm playing it is just because we have a knight. But I was about to say, it's giving me a little bit of a Dark Souls vibe, but that's just because we're a knight who just did a very elaborate door opening animation, so it gave me that vibe via that point. Is it just telling me it's pointing to somewhere? Is that a button I need to hit? I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. I hit X. X is to interact, so I probably should have assumed that just to hit X. Indecipherable metal. Take it out. Absolutely, we're going to take it out. If this thing got up and tried to like thrash us because we took its harpoon, it would be worth it. We got to find out. So yeah, I'm not sure what the game will end up looking like ultimately. Oh, this one didn't have a face. That's interesting. All the other ones had faces. Now I know there was a passage we could have gone back through the other way, but I'm interested in that button. Perhaps now that we have the harpoon, did I walk past the button? No, the button must just been a little bit farther back. I don't think I can run. None of my buttons seem to be able to make me move a little bit faster, which is a little unfortunate. But perhaps the plotting pace is of your character's walking speed is an intended thing. The itch.io page says that the game's about a half an hour long, so perhaps the pace of the walking is supposed to it's part of the experience, perhaps. Given the connection, the self-diagnosed connections, mind you, to Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, I'm probably going to be maybe a little over analyzing the game in for like art and stuff. It does seem to be a very artsy game, so maybe it's not off kilter to be like, oh well, I'm now going to maybe over-examine this game just a little bit. It is nice, it does pull a bit from, well, I can't say that it was the direct influence, but it does at least subscribe to the same belief that the first, I was going to say the first Eco, like Shadow of the Colossus, is Eco too, but Eco didn't have a HUD, and things only like appear on screen when they need to, I believe. It's been a long time since I played that game, because, as we're going through, like, we don't have like health, we don't have a health meter, we don't have like anything. Oh, this is cool. We get a force perspective in here as we come across his body. I always enjoy this human. So I was just saying, it's nice that it doesn't have a HUD. It kind of adds to the immersion of the experience. They died underwater drowning, so I guess this building used to be filled with water then. I don't want to crack the wire just yet. I just want to look around at the rest of the room, see if there's... Oh, I didn't realize it was a hole. That's unfortunate. Is this a thing I can climb up? No, I wish I had cracked the wire now that we've fallen down here, because I have no idea where we are. Maybe this will just loop back to an area we've been in previously. Nope, I guess I've missed my chance to crack that wire. It's saying now I'm getting some serious Dark Souls vibes in that we're having to fall from like weird spots we're not doing like, we don't have to make weird jumps. It just seems like we just fall. I'm not sure if we fall too far, if we'll die, if this game has anything like that. I suppose near the end of Eco there is a section of some strange platforming you do near the very, very end of Eco. I mean, there's platforming throughout the game, but near the end has some very strange platforming that this reminds me of. It seems like we're getting closer to the pool of water, question mark. It was too dark to really tell, but I guess we're here. We'll drop down, see what's down here. Man, I wish we had crack that wire now. Maybe there was a little secret in that room. Maybe something that would have been useful. Maybe a command that would allow us to run to go a little bit faster. Off in the distance, we can see lights. I'm not sure. There's little lines in the lights. Perhaps they're lamp posts. When others are close. I'm hitting X and nothing's happening, so press R to take arms. Okay, so we can do combat. Space swing. Oh, that's a very fancy swing. Should we? Well, I kind of want to go down there, but perhaps we'll continue across the bridge. Nah, we'll go down there. We've noticed it. If I continue across the bridge, maybe I'll end up hitting a point of no return like we did with the wire, and then I'll feel very sad. So we'll just run down here, see what's up. Oh, man, that's gonna bother me for the rest of this game that I missed out on cracking that wire. Who knows what secrets could have been in there? Man, damn. Doesn't seem to be anything down here. I will continue to the end just in case. I mean, I don't see anything, but who knows how pop-in works in this game, how the shaders interact with the world, if they can obscure something from you. It could have been a similar thing to the dead person we saw previously, where maybe like their silhouette may have blended into the wall given the shaders. It's interesting that there's a command to take arms, because we had to pull out our weapons. It isn't just like because I had hit space previous to this while just kind of trying to figure out what was up, and also because I saw there's a little README called like Book of Mysteries, which is just a good name in the file, and it said space to attack, so I was ready for that. Well, we were told to take arms when others are close. I don't seem to be able to sheath. I'm hitting R to put my stuff away, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I don't know why. Like, I mean, this is a strange entity for sure, but its mouth is shut in noise. Interesting. I'm not sure if I should be killing it as like a mercy thing. Like, is this a problem for it? Should I be afraid of it? This one doesn't seem to want to talk. But I mean, I'm not going to strike them down if there's no purpose. I tend to play games that way. If I think a game has like something going on with it, like I'll try to play non-lethally if possible. Like, you know, you play like more basic games, like your Super Mario, stuff like that. It's like, oh, of course I'm going to jump on the Goombas. You know, there's not going to be anything at the end of the game like, oh, Mario, you sicko, you jumped on a Goomba, even though he is a sicko. We do not like the stupid Mario in this house. We're a staunchly a Wario family, it is known, and we will not subscribe to the beliefs of the stupid Mario. But, you know, whenever I think a game has something going on for it, it's just, you know, like if we don't have to kill things, like why should we do it? Perhaps that's just the person in me who put 50 hours into Undertale, just repeatedly playing through it whenever it first released, trying to like just find all the secrets, which is also like, I guess, part of the game of like, oh, hey, you shouldn't like just strip mine things for content. Like, you know, these are, you know, trying to make you look at these video game characters as people and consider like, oh, you know, constantly resetting the world's weird and et cetera, you know. Undertale, it's a whole thing. But when I played Nier Automata, I did a similar thing where I was just like, oh, well, I know this game has something going on for it. You know, it's Yoko Taro, it's Nier. Obviously, there's going to be something with it. So I played that game trying to be non-lethal, like near the beginning, like, well, if I don't have to kill things, why should I? But you know, that game's very staunchly an action game. It's an action game. It's a thinking man's action game, but it's still an action game. You know, sometimes that instinct to not just go about destroying everything you see came in handy. But you know, more often than not, you need to kill your opponent in that game. But so far, we were told to take arms, but nothing attacked us. Nothing forced us to attack those things. Like when they weren't attacking us, I was imagining eventually we'd hit a point where either we'd find one that would attack us and we would have to attack back, or they when we started to get through there and they started to be bunched up a bit more, they'd be bunched up in such a way that we would have to attack to like get by. And I really like that attack animation. It's very what's the word? I was gonna say flowery, but there's like not a finesse, but like a pomp. Man, that's not even the word. There's like a word for like being very showy, like with it, like that I can't think of. I thought of a bunch of other words, but couldn't think of the word I was thinking of. Interesting. So we found the moaning floors. Oop. Well, we fell through a bunch of moaning floors, but that's fine, I suppose. We'll just Oh, did we end up in the same place we were previously? Okay, so these giants used to be alive, we assume so, but apparently they came here and nobody really knew what was up with them. All right. Okay, so the harpoon that we found was made explicitly for killing those giants we saw previously. I thought this was the place we were previously because it looked a lot like it, but now I'm not exactly sure. Things are a bit different. We got our ghosties. Oh, this is a giant. The giant got up. I'm assuming that this is where we were previously, but maybe it's not. I mean, we have more of these entities about. Is this door's bent? Do I attack it? No, attacking it doesn't seem to be the answer. It's somewhat loose, but attacking it wasn't the answer. I'm not exactly sure if this is where we were previously, because we went down from where we were. It doesn't make spatial sense for this to loop back in. Honestly, I just really hope that this is the same place we were previously, because I would like to go crack the wire from that dead person we saw previously. Something's happening. Not exactly sure what it is. Should probably keep an eye on what's happening behind us, but I'd also like to keep an eye on what's happening in front of us. It sounds either like machinery or... Oh, hey, there it is. I was like, it sounds like machinery or gunfire of some sort. It must be like the... Oh, I died. I was like, oh, I wonder if I can just let it get by. Oh, no, I'm not. Am I dead? Yes, we seem to have died. Perhaps I should have ran from it. Because I was like, oh, it seems like I might be able to just let it like scoot on by me, but no, that was not the case. So what happens now? I saw somewhere that this game has checkpoints, so I'll be interested to see where we've checkpointed. Oh, we seem to be in a new location, or we've returned back to our original starting spot and or a place that looks just like it. Hard to say if this is the place we were to begin with, just filled with water, or if it's a new location. Oh, I don't seem to be able to... Why am I not getting up? Seem to have just taken a little moment to get up. I mean, you're a knight. You wake up, you're covered with water. You're probably drowning. Probably already drowned at that point. So maybe not all that good, but it's fine. We can come through the concrete wheels, blinding as always. Doing your job, refracting light, or whatever you do. That seems to be all that you can do at the moment, so let's continue onwards. So, oh, something's red over there. I'm definitely going to go towards the red thing. We've got to know what's red. Do y'all look any different now? No, they look about the same. Yeah. Something red happening over there. Read inscriptions is the same inscriptions we saw previously. Oh, well, if this is the same thing we saw previously, they're unreadable now. There's some strange substance over there. Look like cubes with some glyphs on them, giving me a bit of a Twilight Princess vibe over there. Getting all, the three kind of arty games I know. It's like, boom, get them all out of the way. I mean, Twilight Princess is still like a baby game for Zeldas. And maybe the worst 3D Zelda? Maybe? It's been a while since I played it, but... Oh, hey, there's a hand there. Oh, the hand smacked me in the face. Okay, so we finally found something that... Did I get turned around? I think we're still going the right way. Maybe I should have attacked the hand. Maybe I should have prepared my arms. Maybe I should have strike at the hand. Maybe I need to dodge. We don't have like a dedicated dodge roll of some sort, but we can get out of the way. Maybe we run by it now. Maybe I just need to time out my strike so I would attack the hand after it goes by. We do seem to be able to just get by. Just kind of, I guess, bait the hand into attacking and then just run on by. That one didn't seem like it was all that interested in hitting us. Maybe it saw our sweet moves from before. And by sweet moves, I mean we got smacked in the face and then figured out how to get by without getting smacked in the face. And maybe they're like, they figured out the puzzle. No need to bother. No, excuse me. I am worried about them like making like a second swipe at us before we would be able to get by, but didn't seem to be a problem. No hand over here. Okay, so far we've managed to go without cutting anything down with our sword. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. That being said, I definitely would have attacked the hand if I. Oh, there's some water. Is this death again, or are we gonna be fine underwater? It's hard to say. Oh, we can see some bodies. I don't think we could see these bodies previously. Our night does seem to be. Are we fine, or are we we floated up in a very awkward manner. But we did manage to get up. Is this a door? We don't seem to be able to interact with it. We can still attack underwater. Animation is just a little bit slower, which just means we can enjoy the showiness of it a bit more. What is happening? Something is happening here. Oh, we're sheathing our weapons. All right. I don't think I hit R. Maybe I did accidentally, but I think the game forced me to put away my weapons there. Oh, is something coming after me, or is that body just falling? It does look like it's pursuing me. Can I pull out my... No, I don't seem to be able to pull out my weapon. Although I am also moving, so perhaps while we're moving, we won't be able to withdraw our things. Are y'all mad because I didn't crack the chain, the wire, whatever it was? Because I'm upset about it too. If y'all would leave me alone, we could find out if I'll be able to crack the wire at the end of this hallway. Oh, hey, we found the red cubey things. Listen to whisperings. I'm not sure if this is the same, like we've done like a circle around the place, or if this is something else. I assume we've circled around the location. 16 whispers. Whisper 16 words. Ooh. Okay, so no. I thought we warped, but no, we just came out of the dialogue thing, and I was like, damn, where are we? Oh, hey, this is one of those giants. It's just, I guess when they're active, they're red and white. There's some kind of entity there. Not sure if I should run away from it. I'm not going to. I feel like I should have learned to. Oh, hey, we ended up in this room again. I feel like I should have learned to run away from those things. After we got like murked by that one big boy, but I've learned nothing, and I refuse to learn. AZ. I'll just hit X because that. Oh, I'll hit Z. Sure. Okay, so there's a statue out in a junked field of some sort, just a field with just some concrete junk out there. And we did hear something about people being concealed in concrete, so maybe there's some people and our friends, the big glowy wheels. Can we inspect them now with our newfound knowledge that people were concealed in concrete? Maybe I'm taking it too literally, though. But it's fine. We can come out to our friend this hallway once more. We can see the glowy red over there. There's probably still nothing over in this direction, but I am going to continue over here again just to, poke over here, see if anything's happening. Okay, so we seem to be, just based off of those doors inscriptions, we do seem to be ending up in new locations that look exactly the same, which is very quickly, which is very quickly destroying my hope that we'll be able to crack the wire and make right the wrongs of the past. Oh, well, this creature was deprived of a name. I probably shouldn't just call you. I was like, probably shouldn't just call all y'all golems, but also I don't think I probably have the right to name y'all. Just to, like, come across like, deprived of a name. Here's your name now. You're welcome. It probably doesn't work like that. It's not like it's a Pokemon that I caught. You know, you catch your missing no, you give it a name, and then you get to play the game for like 15 more minutes before the game crashes. But you know, you do what you can. So they used to be watchers, but they're no longer watchers. And in becoming not watchers, I guess they've lost their name, and I guess the beings formerly known as watchers doesn't ring a bell for them. Doesn't work a turn. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, we see the wheels they're coming around like kind of like a lighthouse. We were told that the wheels did like concrete stuff. There's an interaction here. They felt it was such the hardship. Interesting. So these stone giants came, and then they stopped doing the watching thing they do, and then people were like, "Oh damn, let's talk about life. Life sucks, right?" And then I guess like the stone giants were like, "Yeah, bro, we get it." Oh, and you know, a bit of exchange of culture. We tell them like, "Oh shit, life's hard," and they're like, "Hey, bro, want to hear about heaven and earth?" Interesting. And the dialogue there for like coming and speaking to them seems to be like continuous from thing to thing. I'm not going to jump here. I will jump in a moment. But before we jump, there's just a little bit more of this hallway we want to explore. I couldn't see anything in there, so I figured it'd be worth just checking out. But, you know, we'll just check out the rest of this hallway. The architecture and stuff. I mentioned the final platforming, or one of the final platforming areas. It's been a while since I played Eco. I brought that up mostly just because the construction reminds me of the very kind of like waterway prison-esque area, and this doesn't actually seem to be going anywhere. Perhaps we should have just taken that the chance to jump into some water. We should have taken it with glee instead of running all the way down here, because there does not seem to be anything down here. But we've come to the other side, so there is something to examine at the very least. Okay, well, we got to come over here to learn that coming over here was pointless, but it's fine. You know, better to check it out than to wonder for the rest of the game what would happen if we cracked the wire. What would have? I mean, I assume if we had cracked the wire, I don't know if this game has a branching narrative of some sort based on the fact that the creator's like, hey, you can sit down and do this in half an hour. I assume that, you know, there isn't like a branched narrative like, oh, you know, somewhere near the beginning, you know, if you do this, you know, so it'll play out a bit differently. But I suppose the only way we can find out would be to play again. And by that I mean y'all have to play it for yourself, because, you know, I'm doing my duty. So if you want to learn, you're going to have to play. Okay, so we've jumped into we jumped into I guess the titular abyss of the abyssal somewhere. Kadigura. Can't say words. Faced doom 6,000 years ago. Well, I mean, still like a nice little desert with some ruins. Oh, we are the ironclad being. Okay, but just that sounds better than the night guy. It has to be crossed to get to the underworld. Why? I'm not sure why we're going to the underworld, but okay. So we're trying to get to heaven, and to get to heaven, we have to go through the underworld. Interesting. It's very sounds like a Greek story, and like, oh, to get to heaven you must pass through the underworld first. I mean, I suppose there's also other cultures, stories of life and death and how to get to heaven. I believe is it China where you have to like conquer trials or something? I maybe that's a very specific Chinese thing. I don't know if that's just I don't know. There's like is it Fengdu? There's like the Chinese ghost city where it was like After the water stopped flowing, I'm just saying it out loud because it's hard to read. After the water stopped flowing, the sand settled so long after. I probably should have just... Here, I'm just going to face away from the thing. That's why it's easier to read. Okay, so it mentioned something about not being like worth watching. So perhaps the stone watchers came from this place. It became not worth it. They abandoned it since I guess it became to ruin 6,000 years ago. They went and chilled with the humans in their weird waterway prison. I'm guessing that's what's up. But I think it's Fengdu's the Chinese ghost city modeled after their hell, where I think it's supposed to be something along the lines of like you have to conquer the trials of hell to like get out, like regardless of like your good bad. I think it's like a purgatory sense where you complete the trials, and if you complete the trials you're good, and if you fail you're bad. I think it's something like that, but it's been a while since I've looked into it, so I'm not exactly sure. And I just instinctively wanted to come over here off to this side path because I noticed a little path we could take rather than looking around in the other place. Oh, the big wider open area. Not a lot of direction at the moment. Not sure where we should be going in this kingdom of what was it? Diger Ra? It was something along those lines. I'm not the best at pronunciations of my native tongue English's words. So once you get into fantasy words, I'm shit out of luck. The pronunciation's just, it's not going to happen. I can barely pronounce my own name right, and by that I guess I'm just too lazy to pronounce my own name right. My name's Zachary, but I always just say Zachary whenever I have to say my name, missing out that So that's how I do it. You just say things. You hope people can understand you. Sometimes they don't, but it's fine. You do your best. So far, it's interesting. We have the ability to attack, but so far we haven't had to attack anything. I assume we could have whipped out our sword and gone to town on some of those entities we saw when we were first, told of when you get close to somebody. I'm not sure if this is a wall or if it's a portal of some sort, but we had walked so far that I had to just run up against it. Can we run up the dune? I was going to go the other way, but I didn't try to run up the dunes because I just assumed we couldn't. But might as well figure out where we go. No, this invisible wall. Okay, cool. We may have to just walk back the way we came. May have just wandered off in completely the wrong direction, but it's fine. We're exploring a lost kingdom. Not a whole lot going on here, though. And I've run out of things to posit. I've talked about heaven and hell, life and death. I guess we could wonder a bit more about the giants, but I'm sure that there's more to the stone former watchers than we know. But honestly, there's nothing at the moment that I feel like I can posit about them. The nature of humanity, I guess, is a bit interesting. We've seen dead entities that appear to be human-esque. That first dead body we saw, the ironclad being did refer to as a dead human. Is the ironclad being human? It's hard to say. I'm guessing either they're not, or perhaps they're undead of some sort. Which it's easy for my brain to make that leap just because of the two synapses I have firing that said yes, Dark Souls near the very beginning of this, and the fact that we've seemingly things have happened to us that would have killed us or should have killed us. Like that big red being that kind of wandered through us that warped us. I'm not exactly sure what kind of injuries we sustained from that. But it did do something to us. What I'm more thinking about is like the water. When we woke up in that room filled with water, we were like face down, and we got up very slowly. The water didn't seem to bother us. Then that next room just filled up with water. We just continued to walk. Maybe we could assume that the ironclad being held their breath, but it did seem to be a while. There was no meter. There was no struggle. So I'm guessing ironclad being. Probably not human in a traditional sense. Perhaps undead. That bit's hard to say. kind of poked around this world and yet to. I think this is with the starting location, so I suppose we'll just wander back the way, not the way we immediately came, but back to that central fortress. Perhaps there was a very obvious continue trigger in there that I just completely ignored. Maybe I should be heading towards the only maybe star in the sky. It's the only immediate light source. Obviously there has to be some sort of light because we can see. But it's the only bright thing we can immediately see. Although the concrete. Oh, hey, this is I mean, I don't know for sure this is concrete, but we heard that bodies were concealed in concrete. Now I wonder if that was a very literal thing. Hey, we just dumped people's bodies into concrete and then built shit with it, or if it was a metaphorical thing. Hard to say with the knowledge we know. I don't think the ironclad being will. Yeah, it's a little too small for him to fit through. I mean, we don't know the ironclad's gender, so probably a bit presumptuous of me. But that little divot there, because once again, 2 synapses firing, going Dark Souls. It made me smile when I saw that we couldn't fit through that, because I just imagined, and in Dark Souls, people will leave messages that it'll be oh. If only you weren't fatty, and it's they just leave those messages everywhere you can't squeeze through, and it's just Dark Souls players leave variations on the same 3 messages of a message, variations on amazing chest, something about fatty, and hang in there skeleton, and hang in there skeleton is by far the best one, because the skeleton ones will always make me smile. The other ones it's questionable. And amazing chest. When I first heard about amazing chest, it was oh well, that's really funny. But that was back when the game first came out, and I was a younger man then as well. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure where we should be going. I've lost track of that light. I was trying to go towards it previously, but I can't get up this. I think this was the long corridor we wandered down. We should have probably just assumed we would need to wonder about in these central runes. Probably the smart assumption. Oh, what the hell is that? Not exactly sure. We can continue to wander towards it. Not I have a better idea of where we should be going at the moment. There is something over there. I see light. Okay, cool. We have direction now. I want to get over there. Boom. Problem solved. Now we just need to find a way past this wall. Once we get past this wall right here, it's over for you, ruins over there. But I'm not thinking we're going to find it anytime soon. Is this a way? Oh, thank God we found a way out. So what I did is I went to the right when I should have gone to the left. Who would have guessed that the left is the direction one would go? I would have never guessed it. Oh, there's also a big old gate over here. So it's me, the fool with bad directions, but it's fine. Oh, we can see our friends, the light giving wheels over there. But yeah, the left is the correct direction. Right. Ironically, not right. Oh, our wheel friends have either gone out, or just based on the lighting engine of this game and where we're standing currently, not there. But it looks like they've gone out. Yeah, the wheels are no longer giving off white. I almost said white. I mean, they were giving off a white light, but not exactly what it is. Oh, we saw this being earlier. Oh, we're being told about swinging your sword again. Oh, that actually scared me. Okay, so we're faced with foes they seem to be wielding weapons. It's a very I know I keep making the connections, but reminding me a lot of near the end of Eco, where you face beings very similar to you. Did I just wander far enough that they despawned, or are they just kind of clipping in and out the ground? They're lumbering towards me menacingly, so I'm assuming it's probably time to start attacking. Yeah, they're attacking, so I'm just gonna go ahead and oh nope, they whacked me while I was mid animation. I'm not sure if we need to destroy all of them, or if we need to just get to this being, this entity, before they can. It has big. Oh yeah, I was about to say it has big arms that seem to be rejecting us. Perhaps we do need to take care of all of the these entities before we can get to the big boss. But I was hoping, like, I wonder if we can just sneak on by. Maybe we don't need to take care of all of these. Maybe they're a red herring to distract us. But oh nope, I didn't dash in with that attack. Sometimes there's like a dash preceding the ironclad being's attack, and sometimes they stand still. And I'm not sure if that has to do with like perhaps if I attack while I'm moving, it has a bit of a dash to it. And maybe if you press it while you stand still, you kind of just do that flowery swing. I mean, it's all very, very flowery. And I wish I could remember the phrase that I wanted to use at the beginning, or near the beginning of this recording. But we have finally gotten to combat. The combat in this game, I think you can also attack. You can also attack by clicking the mouse. I remember reading that in the Book of Mysteries, which is such a good name for a readme. I didn't even realize. Well, I was about to say I didn't realize you could rename readmes, but it's just, you know. Who thinks to rename a readme, you know? I mean, I suppose, you know, the phrase Book of Mysteries did get me to click on it much more than a readme has ever done. You know, the only times I've ever opened readmes is when I'm confused about a thing and trying to find something out. But Book of Mysteries definitely opened up to find what was the deal with it. Oh, damn, I thought I could get my attack off first. I'm not sure if they're decreasing in number, because when we hit them, they do disappear, but the way that they kind of come in and out through the ground, I'm not sure if we're actually culling the number at all. It's hard to say if we're making any progress. Oh, I think I managed to hit that one. It didn't seem like my hurt box would have made contact with it, but I did. I seem to strike it. Oh, nope. Yeah, we managed to get through it quickly enough. Oh, there's a different entity over here. What is this one? That looks a bit like the human being-esque things we saw previously. Perhaps this is like a matter of like the armed foes will just keep respawning, because they do not seem to be decreasing in number. But perhaps if we were to take out the unarmed one, we would slaying them would deal with the rest, and then we'll be able to face the larger being. But they also are a little too close to the larger being's big hands, that we're just kind of rejected when we get too close. So maybe we should just stick to these beings. This is giving me such a big eco vibe, like the entire game, like from the beginning. Yeah, I guess I was right about that. That we needed to slay them to deal with that. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. Is ironclad being dying? Are they just being subdued? It's interesting. They're talking about like, hey, there's only ghosts and beings of stone past here, but we do seem to be a being of iron. Oh, what is happening? Oh, are we like about to do a cool magic anime? Yeah, it's time for cool magic anime swords to fight off this being's like big ol' light sword. Oop. That one had a. Oh man, we are going full anime now. This is okay. So I was starting to, honestly, the game was a bit slow in plotting for me up until this point. But now I'm very into what is happening. Now I'm definitely all in on this. Yeah, let's. Oh nope, they got me. I am so for this now. Like, I mean, you could argue, there's still a major like Shadow of the Colossus like eco vibe going on here, whereas I don't believe in eco. It's been a while since I played. I think there might be like a big cool weapon you get near the end. But an event like this, an event where you're seemingly very powerful, but actually not, happens near the end of Shadow of the Colossus. So perhaps something similar could be happening to that, where we've entered this strange, very cool state where we're just skidding around. But are we going to be able to like actually use this power that we seem to have? Like they're creating these foes for us to fight, but we probably want to just get straight to the big boy. I'm not sure if there will be if there's a like human being-esque figure wandering around that we need to slay again, or if we just need to get in there. Yeah, we just get in there. We see some glimpses of the wastes. Also, I don't mean to bring down this very serious moment, but when they were showing us those images that flashed before we entered like our cool anime mode, there was definitely like one that was a bird shape that had like a smiley face on it, and I wonder if that was intended. Not entirely sure. It is S. Is that who we are? I mean, we're seeing some knights chilling out, so perhaps those are other ironclad beings like us. Maybe we are S. It's hard to say. I have a bit of control on the screen. I didn't realize. There's like a little dead body. We're some kind of perhaps cloaked entity. Hard to say. None of my buttons other than the WASD seem to do anything, so we'll just continue to move along. Was that our previous body? Looks a bit like, well, I was going to say it looks a bit like it, but it doesn't have the sharp pointed nose that the ironclad being's helmet had. So I suppose we'll just continue onwards. Maybe this is a vision we're seeing. It's hard to say what's happening here. Are these the credits now? Yep, we've hit the end of the game. It says I've been recording for 45 minutes, so a bit longer than what the creator intended. But they couldn't have intended for me to not just go the obvious direction you should probably go, in the kingdom of name I have a hard time saying. Tower of No One, I guess, will be the O's Tower of No One. I can only assume that's O's, like Kamen Rider, and it's it's just me being, I guess, a dork, assuming Kamen Rider pronunciation. So that was Abyssal Somewhere. So honestly, the game's a bit slow and plotting, a bit too artsy for my tastes. And so, around the end, I was actually starting to think like, I'm not sure if honestly I'm feeling this. And honestly, I think I do stick with that the general game is just a bit too artsy, a bit too slow paced for my taste. But the end with the very anime like power up definitely made me interested in what the future games of this series could be. I'm not sure, based on that ending, if it will continue to follow our ironclad being. I'm not exactly sure what S is, if perhaps it's the ironclad being, maybe that little cloaked entity. I refer to everything as entities in these games. The little cloaked. I either refer to them as entity or being. Those are the two words I got in my arsenal. Not a big vocabulary in this boy, unfortunately. But that little cloaked being we were playing in the credits. Even though I guess nonoise didn't exactly credit themselves during the credits. So credits, I guess, a bit questionable. The cool anime thing at the end definitely made me think that I'll probably check out the future installments, see what's up with the Tower of Many. I believe that's what it's called. The game, it's not obviously not all that difficult. Even at the very end, when you get into combat, the combat's not hard. It's not like, it doesn't seem like you can fail. You get hit and you flop down. You just gotta like line up and time out your hits. Not all that difficult. And once you enter the cool anime mode, there's still not much to it. You just avoid getting hit by the big sword. Getting close so you can strike down the angelic the angel-like entity. I almost said angelic-like entity, which not exactly correct, but that was Abyssal Somewhere. Link in the description so you can download it. And you're probably thinking, why would I download and play it? I just watched you play it. Well, you can take that harpoon and break the chain and find out what happens. You can or I think it was a wire actually. You can find out what I failed at. You won't allow your curiosity to draw you away from a thing because you assume that it was, obviously, this is what we need to do to make progress, and then fall down a hole, like a mook, a moron, an absolute buffoon, like I did. You can figure it out. It's a free video game. You can support it if you want. You can also go donate to charity. That's also cool. Plenty of people on Twitter. There's a hashtag. I'll put the hashtag on screen for trans people looking for financial help. Play the game, support a trans person, support all trans people. This was Abyssal Somewhere.